Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
React verbally. The speech act of continuing a conversational exchange. He growled his reply. A statement, either spoken or written, that is made to reply to a question or request or criticism or accusation. React verbally. She didn't want to answer. Be sufficient. Be adequate, either in quality or quantity. A few words would answer. A statement that solves a problem or explains how to solve the problem. The answers were in the back of the book. A statement, either spoken or written, that is made to reply to a question or request or criticism or accusation. I waited several days for his answer. Understand the meaning of. The question concerning the meaning of life cannot be answered. A nonverbal reaction. His answer to any problem was to get drunk. Be liable or accountable. She must answer for her actions. Be satisfactory for. Meet the requirements of or serve the purpose of. This may answer her needs. Give a defense or refutation of a charge, or in an argument. The defendant answered to all the charges of the prosecution. Give the correct answer or solution to. Answer a question. Match or correspond. The drawing of the suspect answers to the description the victim gave. React to a stimulus or command. The steering of my new car answers to the slightest touch. Respond to a signal. Answer the door. The principal pleading by the defendant in response to plaintiff's complaint. In criminal law it consists of the defendant's plea of guilty, or not guilty, or nolo contendere. In civil law it must contain denials of all allegations in the plaintiff's complaint that the defendant hopes to controvert, and it can contain affirmative defenses or counterclaims. The speech act of replying to a question. React verbally. Show a response or a reaction to something. Respond favorably or as hoped. The cancer responded to the aggressive therapy. The speech act of continuing a conversational exchange. A bodily process occurring due to the effect of some antecedent stimulus or agent. His responses have slowed with age. The manner in which something is greeted. A statement, either spoken or written, that is made to reply to a question or request or criticism or accusation. A phrase recited or sung by the congregation following a versicle by the priest or minister. A result. This situation developed in response to events in Africa. The manner in which an electrical or mechanical device responds to an input signal or a range of input signals. Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. Give evidence. He was telling on all his former colleague. Narrate or give a detailed account of. Inform positively and with certainty and confidence. I tell you that man is a crook. Express in words. Tell me what is bothering you. A Swiss patriot who lived in the early 14th century and who was renowned for his skill as an archer. According to legend, an Austrian governor compelled him to shoot an apple from his son's head with his crossbow, which he did successfully without mishap. Mark as different. Discern or comprehend. He could tell that she was unhappy. Let something be known. have or contain a certain wording or form. What does the law say? Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. Express a supposition. Let us say that he did not tell the truth. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. I cannot say, zip wire. Report or maintain. The registrar says that I owe the school money. Express in words. Communicate or express nonverbally. What does this painting say? Indicate. The clock says noon. Recite or repeat a fixed text. State as one's opinion or judgment. Declare. I say let's forget this whole business. The chance to speak. Let him have his say. Utter aloud. Indicate through a symbol, formula, etc. The territory occupied by a nation. A politically organized body of people under a single government. The state has elected a new president. Chemistry. The three traditional states of matter are solids, fixed shape and volume, and liquids, fixed volume and shaped by the container, and gases, filling the container. The solid state of water is called ice. The territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation. His state is in the deep south. Put before. The federal department in the United States that sets and maintains foreign policies. Express in words. State your opinion. A state of depression or agitation. He was in such a state you just couldn't reason with him. The group of people comprising the government of a sovereign state. The state has lowered its income tax. The way something is with respect to its main attributes. The current state of knowledge. The use of language to perform some act. Computer science. A line of code written as part of a computer program. A fact or assertion offered as evidence that something is true. A document showing credits and debits. The act of affirming or asserting or stating something. A message that is stated or declared. A communication, oral or written, setting forth particulars or facts, etc. According to his statement, he was in London on that day. A nonverbal message. A Cadillac makes a statement about who you are. Music. The presentation of a musical theme. The initial statement of the sonata. Be restored. Go back to something earlier. Answer back. Even the score, in sports. A branch of knowledge. A particular kind of commercial enterprise. They are outstanding in their field. The area that is visible, as through an optical instrument. A particular environment or walk of life. The space around a radiating body within which its electromagnetic oscillations can exert force on another similar body not in contact with it. A piece of land prepared for playing a game. The home crowd cheered when Princeton took the field. A place where planes take off and land. Extensive tract of level open land. He longed for the fields of his youth. A region where a battle is being, or has been, fought. They made a tour of Civil War battlefields. A region in which active military operations are in progress. The army was in the field awaiting action. A geographic region, land or sea, under which something valuable is found. The diamond fields of South Africa. All of the horses in a particular horse race. All the competitors in a particular contest or sporting event. Answer adequately or successfully. The lawyer fielded all questions from the press. A piece of land cleared of trees and usually enclosed. He planted a field of wheat. Catch or pick up balls in baseball or cricket. Computer science. A set of one or more adjacent characters comprising a unit of information. Mathematics. A set of elements such that addition and multiplication are commutative and associative and multiplication is distributive over addition and there are two elements 0 and 1. The set of all rational numbers as a field. Play as a fielder. Select a team or individual player for a game. The Buckeyes fielded a young new quarterback for the Rose Bowl. Somewhere, away from a studio or office or library or laboratory, where practical work is done or data is collected. Anthropologists do much of their work in the field. Answer back. Join again. Make repayment for or return something. Pay back. Answer back. Act or give recompense in recognition of someone's behavior or actions. Answer back. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. A vessel where substances are distilled or decomposed by heat. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. The average return was about 5%. The key on electric typewriters or computer keyboards that causes a carriage return and a line feed. Document giving the tax collector information about the taxpayer's tax liability. His gross income was enough that he had to file a tax return. Go back to a previous state. Elect again. A coming to or returning home. On his return from Australia, we gave him a welcoming party. Happening again, especially at regular intervals. The return of spring. Be restored. Her old vigor returned. Give or supply. Pass down. Pay back. Go back to something earlier. Getting something back again. Bring back to the point of departure. The act of someone appearing again. Answer back. Give back. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. Be inherited by. The land returned to the family. The occurrence of a change in direction back in the opposite direction. A reciprocal group action. In return, we gave them as good as we got. American football. The act of running back the ball after a kickoff or punt or interception or fumble. A tennis stroke that sends the ball back to the other player. He won the point on a cross-court return. Go or come back to place, condition, or activity where one has been before. Return to your native land. Make a return. Return a kickback. Return in kind. Return a compliment. Return to a previous position, in mathematics. The point returned to the interior of the figure. Submit a report, etc., to someone in authority. The act of going back to a prior location. They set out on their return to the base camp. Answer back. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. Fencing, a counterattack made immediately after successfully parrying the opponent's lunge. Make a return thrust. His opponent riposted. An impudent or insolent rejoinder. Don't give me any of your sass. Answer back in an impudent or insolent manner. Don't sass me. A return punch, especially by a boxer. Act in advance of. Deal with ahead of time. Indicating opposition or resistance. A piece of leather forming the back of a shoe or boot. A counter may be used to stiffen the material around the heel and to give support to the foot. A calculator that keeps a record of the number of times something happens. A piece of furniture that stands at the side of a dining room, has shelves and drawers. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. A person who counts things. Computer science, a register whose contents go through a regular series of states, usually states indicating consecutive integers. Game equipment, as a piece of wood, plastic, or ivory, used for keeping account or reserving a space in various card or board games. Speak in response. He countered with some very persuasive arguments. Table consisting of a horizontal surface over which business is transacted. The act of restraining power or action or limiting excess. His common sense as a bridle to his quick temper. Anger or take offense. She bridled at his suggestion to elope. Headgear for a horse. Includes a headstall and bit and reins to give the rider or driver control. Put a bridle on. Bridle horses. Respond to the reins, as of horses. Cause to be returned. The manufacturer tried to call back the spoilt yogurt. Recall knowledge from memory. Have a recollection. Summon to return. Return or repeat a telephone call. I am busy right now. Can you call back in an hour? A vigorous and unrestrained response. Her tirade provoked a counterblast from her husband. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. It brought a sharp rejoinder from the teacher. Law. A pleading made by a defendant in response to the plaintiff's replication. The act of making copies. Copy that is not the original. Something that has been copied. The repetition of a sound resulting from reflection of the sound waves. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. Genetics. The process whereby DNA makes a copy of itself before cell division. Law. A pleading made by a plaintiff in reply to the defendant's plea or answer. The repetition of an experiment in order to test the validity of its conclusion. Scientists will not believe an experimental result until they have seen at least one replication. A quick reply to a question or remark, especially a witty or critical one. Return by a celebrity to some previously successful activity. Ring or echo with sound. Call to mind. His words echoed John F. Kennedy. To say again or imitate. Followers echoing the cries of their leaders. The repetition of a sound resulting from reflection of the sound waves. She could hear echoes of her own footsteps. A close parallel of a feeling, idea, style, etc. His contention contains more than an echo of Rousseau. An imitation or repetition. The flower arrangement was created as an echo of a client's still life. A reflected television or radio or radar beam. A reply that repeats what has just been said. Greek mythology. A nymph who was spurned by Narcissus and pined away until only her voice remained. A reply that has no relevance to what preceded it. Logic. A conclusion that does not follow from the premises. Response to an inquiry or experiment. The process in which part of the output of a system is returned to its input in order to regulate its further output. A legally binding command or decision entered on the court record, as if issued by a court or judge. The act of rewriting something. Something that has been written again. A reply by a pope to an inquiry concerning a point of law or morality.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.